We're diving deep into the top 3 most valuable Washington quarter dollars ever discovered. Are you ready to uncover hidden treasure that might be sitting in your pocket change? Some Washington quarter dollars, those everyday coins we often overlook, are worth thousands, even hundreds thousands of dollars. That's right, these little pieces of American history can hold massive value if you know what to look for. From ultra-rare minting errors to elusive key dates and varieties, these coins have turned ordinary collectors into lucky millionaires overnight. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just curious about what makes a coin so valuable. The 1967 Washington quarter dollar, a coin millions of Americans spent without a second thought, might secretly be a life-changing treasure. To understand why the 1967 Washington quarter has become a numismatic legend, we need to rewind to one of the most pivotal periods in U.S. coin history, the mid-1960s. After years of using 90% silver in coin production, the United States Mint made a massive change in 1965. Due to a national silver shortage and rising metal prices, they eliminated silver from the dime and quarter entirely. Struck on a silver planchet, reportedly sold at auction for over $150,000, and experts estimate that a pristine specimen could potentially fetch $250,000 or even more. Off-center strikes, 5% to 90%. Struck 60 to 80% off-center, especially with a visible date, can sell for $3,000 to $8,000 depending on condition. Double strikes. These double strikes can range from $1,000 to $10,000, especially when the second strike is significantly misaligned. Clipped planchets are known as clipped planchets. A well-centered 1967 clipped planchet quarter can sell for $2,500 or more if it's in mint condition. Wrong planchet errors. Struck on foreign coin planchets, possibly intended for coins of different countries. These can be extremely rare and fetch upwards of $15,000 to $30,000. Record-breaking sales and auction house. Let's talk about the real money, auction records. In one shocking sale, a 1967 Washington quarter struck on a 90% silver planchet authenticated by PCGS went under the hammer at Heritage Auctions for just over $152,750. And here's the kicker: only a few have ever been graded MS65 or higher, meaning if a coin like this in mint state 67 or 68 were to surface, it could easily break the $250,000 mark. Some experts even speculate it could push $500,000, especially if multiple wealthy collectors entered a bidding war. Another 1967 quarter with an unusual double strike and extreme off-center error sold for $12,600, proving that even non-silver errors can command 5-figure prices. So what's driving these incredible prices? Scarcity, demand, mystery, and the fact that these coins were never meant to exist. How to identify a quarter in your pocket? Here's your chance to become a treasure hunter. If you're going through old coins, rolls, or inherited collections, here's what you need to look for. Check the weight. Use a digital coin scale. If your 1967 quarter weighs around 6.25 grams, you might have a silver planchet error. Examine the edge. Regular 1967 quarters will show a copper core on the edge. A silver one will have a solid silver-colored edge with no visible copper line. Look for unusual visuals. Off-center, double strikes, or clipped edges are worth examining by a professional. Seek authentication. If you find anything suspicious or unique, submit it to a top grading company like PCGS or NGC for verification. The true story of the rarest 1981 P-error Washington quarter dollar ever found. We'll reveal its mysterious origin, why collectors are scrambling to find one, and how you could be holding a coin that's worth. Let's rewind to 1981, a year of transition and tension in the numismatic world. The Washington quarter had already undergone one of the most significant changes of its life, the removal of silver in 1965. Since then, the U.S. Mint had been producing quarters using the copper-nickel clad composition. But by the late 1970s and early 1980s, pressure mounted for better quality and higher security at the Philadelphia Mint. Off-metal strikes, wrong planchet errors. These coins are lighter, thinner, and smaller, yet they carry the full quarter design. Value, anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000, depending on condition and rarity. Off-center strikes. A dramatic off-center strike, especially with 50% or more of the design missing and the date still visible, can sell for $2,500 to $7,500. Double strikes / multiple strikes. A 1981 P quarter that was struck multiple times with visible ghosting of Washington's profile or doubled eagles can bring in $3,000 to $10,000. Clipped planchets. Quarters struck on incomplete blanks, or clipped planchets, with crescent-shaped cuts can fetch $2,000 to $5,000 depending on severity and eye appeal. Broad strikes and missing edge reads. The coin is struck without a retaining collar, resulting in a flatter, wider shape. These errors are valued between $1,000 and $3,500 for 1981 P quarters. Auction records and why the value keeps growing. Let's look at some record-breaking auction results that made headlines in the coin world. A 1981 P quarter struck on a silver planchet sold through Heritage Auctions for $156,000. This auction caused waves in the collecting community and increased demand for off-metal errors from the modern era. A double-struck 1981 P quarter with strong visible doubling sold for $8,400 on Great Collections, proving that even non-silver errors can hold enormous value when they're dramatic and rare. A collector-grade off-center 1981 P quarter, struck nearly 70% off-center with the date intact, sold for $3,250 at auction in early. How to identify 1981 P quarter is worth. Ready to become a coin detective? Here's how to spot one of these incredibly rare 1981 P treasures. Weigh your coin. Use a precise digital scale. A regular 1981 P quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If yours weighs 6.25 grams, it may be on a silver planchet. Listen to the sound. Silver coins produce a sharp, high-pitched ring. Compare your 1981 P to a known copper-nickel coin and listen closely. Inspect the edge. Regular quarters have a copper-colored stripe on the edge. A true silver error will have a solid silver edge with no visible copper core. The 1983 P error Washington quarter dollar. You're about to uncover the jaw-dropping truth behind one of the most elusive and valuable U.S. quarters ever minted. The legendary, why are collectors fighting tooth and nail over this seemingly common coin? What mysterious mistake catapulted it into six-figure territory? The Washington quarter has been a staple in American pockets since 1932, designed to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. But by the 1980s, something odd was happening at the U.S. Mint. Because mint sets were made, there were no pristine, collector-grade examples of 1983 coins including the quarter. Most of these coins entered circulation immediately and were heavily used, banged up, or damaged. That means high-quality examples are already extremely rare. Off-metal strike on copper planchet, $12,000 to $25,000 plus depending on grade. One graded MS65 red by PCGS sold for $15,275 at auction. Double struck error, $2,000 to $15,000 plus. Highly dramatic double strikes can command even higher prices, especially in uncirculated condition. Missing clad layer, $500 to $3,000 plus. Value depends on how much of the clad layer is missing and the coin's condition. $50,000 to $250,000 plus, especially in mint state and with certification from PCGS or NGC. Sales and auction records. Let's look at a few real-world sales that prove the point. $15,275 Heritage Auctions, 2019. A 1983 P quarter struck on a copper planchet, graded MS65 red, sold for over $15,000. That was before the market exploded in 2020 to 2022. $17,625 Stax Bowers, 2020. Another off-metal 1983 P era quarter in near mint state sold for over $17,000. This one had a partially visible clad layer, making it a transitional error. $20,000 private sale, 2022. An ungraded, raw 1983 P quarter with an obvious double strike and copper planchet sold through a private auction for nearly $20,000. $250,000 plus hypothetical maximum. Numismatic experts agree that if an MS68 1983 P era quarter with dramatic off-metal or double strike traits ever surfaced, it would become a record-breaking six-figure icon, potentially reaching $500,000 at a high-stakes auction. How to identify a valuable 1983 P quarter. Here's how you can check your change and maybe strike it rich. Check for the P mint mark. Only quarters minted in Philadelphia, with the P below Washington's neck, are in this rare group. Look for copper or clad layer separation. Any signs of copper bleeding through on both sides or layers flaking could signal a striking error. Examine for double strikes or off-center images. These are rare, but extremely valuable. Look at the rim, edges, or lettering for duplication or offset. Check condition. Any 1983 P quarter with minimal wear and high luster could already be worth hundreds even without an error. Get it graded. If you suspect you have a rare error, send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. This step can make a $200 coin worth $20,000 or more.